Hello out there, this is Wakeangel2K1, and today was my day off work, so I decided to do a little shopping. And what do we find? But they decided to launch the new wave of the world of Nintendo figures today! Like, yesterday when I was actually working at Toys R Us, they weren't there. And then I go to the stores on my day off the very next day, and boom, the new wave's out. Caught me completely off guard. So this is the member of Team Fox from this wave of the world Nintendo line, Slippy Toad. And he is just so adorable. He's so cute that it almost makes me forget about the whole "Fox, get this guy off me" line that he would repeat every 30 seconds when you were playing Star Fox 64. Which is where the aesthetic comes from, made in the 64 styling rather than, more modern takes. But yeah, this is a really, really nice representation of him. He looks spot on perfect. Like, really, really good. So the plastic quality on him feels really solid too. Unlike some other figures, he feels like, you know how when you get a figure from Jazzwares, it feels like it's been cast in like this latexy plastic and is solid? Well, when you get a figure from Bandai, and they tend to be made out of more solid plastic that's hollow inside, this feels more like the Bandai level of figure than the Jazzwares level of figure. Let's break down his articulation. It's good. Like, it's a nice solid figure, and he doesn't feel like he's going to fall apart, and he's not floppy or anything. It's very solid, very well made, very not top heavy. I'm standing him on a towel, and then he has to contradict me. So his articulation, swivel cut neck, can go all the way around. Nothing really impedes it. He has universal shoulders, which go out. I've been doing that. And they can go forward too, but I noticed that the way the joint is built, like, it goes outwards a little bit as you move it forward. Yeah, see? Once you get his arms in front of him, he's kind of like reaching out, like, hug me! His elbow gets a solid 90 degree for his left arm, but significantly less than 90 degrees for his right arm. I don't know why his sleeves are sculpted asymmetrically so that one gets really good range and the other one doesn't. Seems a little bit weird. He doesn't have any wrist joints, which, given the way he has cuffs on his sleeves, would have been really easy to engineer in, so I don't see why he doesn't have any. But he does have a bicep swivel that allows his arm to move around, so I guess that compensates somewhat. He has a waist joint, and if you look closely at his waist, you can see his jacket's not straight. It's like higher up on one side than it is on the other. Like, his pants aren't pulled up properly. Like he's just this little chubby guy who doesn't quite fit into the standard military uniform, so he no matter how much he tries to straighten himself out, he always looks a little bit sloppy. I like that little tiny bit of subtlety in the character. Like, although when you turn the waist, it looks a little bit weird because then it's slightly off kilter. Not by very much, but just enough to be noticeable. He has ball-jointed hips that actually get a pretty good range outwards, although not much range forwards or backwards, unfortunately. I guess it gets enough off to make it look like his little slippy run. And he has ankle movement. So actually, even with his legs move forward and backward as far as they go, both feet are still flat. And because of his legs being so thick and so short, he can't have knee joints, but he does still have the boot cut swivels. So there's that at least. I can understand not having knees because the legs are so thick. Like, if they weren't so thick, he would still have knees even if he was this short, but combination of the thickness and the shortness is what makes him not be able to have the knees. So, okay. And he's solid. He is a perfectly solid, awesome little representation of Slippy. So, when we compare him to the other members of Team Star Fox, we have Fox himself. Boop, boop. Actually, this is going to be clumsy. And there we go with the other two members of Team Fox that have been released so far. And it really came out good. Slippy scales perfectly, being shorter than the other two members of the team, but he's shorter, but still proportioned right. Like the length of his torso and the length of his legs purport that yes, Slippy is just a short little guy. He's not like a character made to be a taller character made in a shorter scale. Yeah, he's perfectly proportioned, and he perfectly matches the other two members of Team Fox, which is pretty much all we could ask for. So that means there's only one member left of the original Team Fox, and that would be Peppy Hare. I think he's coming out for the next wave, and I would hope that they would continue on after that, because I'd like to see at least like Wolf from, like you could do Team Star Wolf, and I'd really like to see a Crystal done in the world of Nintendo, because my custom one just doesn't quite match the aesthetic. Like even if she's about the right size, it just, this figure buck doesn't really match the aesthetic that World of Nintendo's going for. And I can't really think of one that matches this aesthetic in this size. So that's a thing. Alright, so that's my review of Slippy Toad. If you are into Star Fox, I would highly recommend him because he is an excellent entry into this particular wave of the World of Nintendo figures. And I have made some other acquisitions from this wave, although that will have to wait for a future date. See you next time! Crap. I actually got as far as rendering the footage for the review before I remembered this guy came with an accessory. It's this. It's supposed to be the bomb icon from the video games. So it's basically a red hexagon with a black background and a white bee. Woo! The bee's only on one side, so you can actually make it like a coin. Tails. No bomb. I remember in the video game Star Fox 64, it wasn't a flat disc like this. It like tapered off to a point, kind of like a gemstone, like what a Chaos Emerald would shape like. So having it like this just feels kind of weird. And like, why is it that these guys don't have any accessories that they can actually use? Like, Fox and Falco came with little tiny R-wings that are useless for anything unless you want them to be playing with toy planes. And then this guy comes with a bomb icon that he can't use. Like haven't these people ever heard of guns? Or like, maybe you can put on that scope for that game that came with Star Fox 64, Slippy's Tactical whatever it was called. Yeah. So you can see why I forgot to shoot this, because I totally forgot that it was even a thing. Okay, so yeah, now the review's done.